Hello, everybody. Welcome to Freight Extravaganza Tuesday. So, it's going to be freight. We're going to start off, as promised, on the Peninsula Corridor with the GP 38-2. I noticed, because I was kind of looking at what routes, or what could I do with this. I'm going to try this 1125 service only because it seems to be the one that may offer the most bang for the buck, I guess. It's in the daytime. Now the only problem with that is that we're going to be competing with the passenger service that'll be going on around about that time. It might be a little less busy later in the evening, but it'll be dark, be kind of hard to see everything. So we're going to do this 1125 service, the UP1 northbound loaded aggregates. Looks like we're going to be stopping along the way to drop some stuff off, but we'll get it figured out. We'll get in here and get everything set up, and we'll be on our way. So hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday. I am definitely. Don't have classes today. It's our quote-unquote wellness day because we're not getting spring break this semester. Hello, Mick. How are you? Hopefully you're well. Boo! Well, hopefully this will be a good, fun, interesting stream. We'll try to make it entertaining. So we'll get in here and get the lovely GP38 in Union Pacific livery set up as soon as we're done looking at all the nice load screens and all that. So anyway, yeah, nice Tuesday. Oh, Mr. Addies, hello, how are you? Welcome. Looking forward to this. Me too. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to hop on into the class 66 on Southeastern High Speed. We're going to do a service there, and then we're going to wrap it up on Ruhr-Sieg Nord. So I was already kind of looking ahead to what to do. So I think I've got a pretty good plan on that. So let's get all the switches on. This to freight. And let's get the brakes going. Let's see, is this set? Let's double check that to make sure we're... Yep, alright, that's good. And let's get our number lights on, because we like to have our number lights on as well. Platform lights on. Guess we can't turn the number lights on in the back. Oh well, that's okay. And let's make sure step lights are on. Gauge lights are on, so we can see. We don't need banking comms because we're not on a. Oops. Hit the horn by accident. Alright, let's do put the alerter on just to keep things interesting. See if it gives us any warnings along the way or not. Alright, so we're here. We're heading up there. We're going to go via Lawrence. Oh, look at that. We got 3 GP38s out here. We've got this basically kind of like dirt that goes underneath the rails there for whatever other reason. So let's check our points. Got that in time, I think. Alrighty, so welcome everybody. Welcome Nick. Welcome Mr. Addies. Joseph. So yeah, we're gonna do. I was not looking. I'll figure it out again. I should have wrote it down. No too many levers and buttons for me. London ground. I think I'll stick with. It's not that bad, Nick. It's not that bad at all. It's. All right. Let's go back up here to the front. Go. We're all lit up here in the front end. Got our lights on, got our numbers on. Everybody knows we're moving. So yeah. Bye followers primes. Oh! I don't know how to get rid of that. Yeah, please don't post links like that in my chat. Go, or whatever your name is. Yeah, please don't do that. I don't need stuff like that in my chat. So you can find your way out the door, please. Oh, we did get an alerter. So it does work. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna do the service. Let's see. We're gonna stop at Redwood. We're gonna let none of these off, and then we'll be heading up further north. See, I think we're gonna go to the another yard there in San Francisco. I think that should finish up their service. Get a picture of this right here. Uh-oh, can't save it. Saving photos. Alright, oh well. Always another time. So, anyway. What story? Oh, well, speaking of Union Pacific, so I believe the Cane Creek, unless I'm mistaken, Cane Creek is a Union Pacific route. So AC 4400s will be in UP livery. Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite epic. All right, let's just see. Do we have a... There's nothing in front of us, so I don't know why we're getting a yellow light, but we'll just kind of come off the throttle a bit and coast. I don't think we may be chasing somebody, but I didn't see, there's nobody ahead at Lawrence Station there. There's nobody, oh, there is one. Okay, so yeah, we are chasing service, it looks like. That's okay. So, yeah, we'll just kind of coast here a bit. They're probably going to be up to 79 fairly quickly, so we'll just be right where we're at, and that's okay. The problem though is, Richard, hey, no, Mr. Addies, don't do that in my chat, please. There's a yellow. There is a passenger service in front of us. So I am not going to go full speed because I'm going to end up at a red light, and I don't want that. So that's, you know, if that's how you want to run your train when you're driving, that's up to you. So please don't do that in my chat. Thank you. So we're just going to cruise. The problem with that is that we now have behind us passenger services. So it does add a RFB. It does add a different element to our service because we are chasing. There is a passenger service right there. So it's going into this stop here. That's Mountain View. So eventually we may have to. I only just saw that. Yeah. So we may have to stop because they are stopping at Mountain View, which is right there. I think because it's slowed way down. So we may have to stop and wait to get to Redwood Junction, which is beyond the Mountain View station. Hey Richard, yeah, that was a good stream. Man, I have missed your soothing voice. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you did a really good, awesome stream today, Richard. That was really good stuff. So good time. So anyway, but yeah, I kind of have a feeling we are going to have to stop, even though we're kind of chugging along here at 30 miles an hour. Let's see. Did that train? Yeah, it stopped there at Mountain View. So Redwood City, the Redwood Yard, if there's Mountain View, Redwood is right up. Where is it? Right there, I believe, is where we're first stopping to drop off some of these cars loaded with dirt, gravel, whatever. So, oh, you know what they don't have is a little alerter thing at the very back for the end of the train. That's interesting. Yeah, we got 3 lovely GP38s here. Yeah, 7/10 of a mile. All right, let's get on the brakes here and start slowing it down even more. As predicted. That's why you don't just go full bore, Mr. Addies. Okay, now it's gone yellow. Okay, now. So, let's see if I was correct about where we're stopping first. There it is. Alright, so that's our destination first. Let's get these. It's already set up. What about back here? Nope. So now we should be good to go into the yard. Alright, let's see. Before I go get back on the throttle, let's see. Okay, they're just now leaving Mountain View. So I'm going to get a little bit of throttle back on, but not much. I don't want to go. Do you know this route well? Yes, I do pretty much, Nick. I grew up in the Bay Area. I used to ride the train from San Jose Station up all the way up to San Francisco to watch the baseball games. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it, but this is like my home line. Can't wait for the soothing voice of Rob saying Sifa Sifa. Yep, that'll be at the tail end. We're going to be doing Ruhr-Sieg Nord. We'll do a freight service. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. But yeah, this is like my home line, Dick. So yeah, like I lived in Mountain View, not far from the train station there. I've been up and down this whole route just about, I think, in real life. So yeah, but yeah, I feel fairly confident that I know it well. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. Go get them, Rob. Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I like people who come in and I know you guys. If anybody do joins, they're certainly welcome to chat. I just don't want people posting stuff in my chat about get more viewers or whatever. I'm not paying for people to view my stream. If they want to come here and watch, they can. If not, they can leave. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't hurt my feelings. So I mean, in all honesty, it's not. We don't have a really long train, but we are pulling a lot of weight. I would have thought they would have given us 2 GP38s, but we got 3 instead, but that's okay. I guess the more the merrier in some cases. Alright, so how are we looking? Where's that other train at? Alright, he stopped there. That should be California Street or San Antonio? Anyway, so yeah, shout out real quick. Check out Richard Trainspotter 377's channel. He's more than halfway to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to him yet, go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's doing daily streams as well on Train Sim World 2, Farm Sim. So yeah. Give him a look and give him a subscription, please. Thank you. Mr. Addies, check out his channel. He plays FIFA, GT Sport, Train Sim World 2. I think he says he's getting back to SnowRunner at some point. So, and then of course, once On the Road is sorted, both Joseph and Richard will be playing On the Road. There seems to be quite a few problems with that game. So yeah, do check out their channels. Joseph Adams and Richard Trainspotter 377. So once this is all done, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. It'll probably be set for premiere later today. Now we can just coast for a bit, because I think we're going to eventually catch up to that train again. It should be on its way to Palo Alto. Where is it? Is it skipping some stations or something? We'll just coast for a little bit. How long is this route? It's about 50 miles or less than 50. Hold on, let me take a look real quick. I should know this. 47 miles. So just under 50 miles. It does go past, a red switch, I would push that just to see what happens. Yeah, Mick. Yeah, I know. So yes, it's, there's the MP-15 going the other way with some loaded stuff. 47 miles, in real life, it does go past San Jose Station all the way to Gilroy, so it's probably closer to 60 or 70 miles total, give or take. I don't think it's 30 miles to Gilroy, is it? I don't know. But yeah, so there is more to the route. It does go all the way to Gilroy, but we only go as far as San Jose in the game. Yeah. All right, so here we are passing Mountain View. This, I don't know if, I think I've pointed this out before. So these tracks are light rail tracks. It's an electrified rail system that goes into downtown San Jose. It goes through a lot of neighborhoods and such. So it's kind of like a S-Bahn service, I guess, in a way. But they don't, it's interesting that I think in Train Sim World 2020, they had the lines up, and then in Train Sim World 2, they're gone. So, kind of interesting predicament. But, all right, so we're going to start slowing down again because we're running into those yellows. We're catching up to that train again. But we're inside of 10 miles to Redwood Junction. Now, good thing is we don't have to worry about the lap brake. We do have a automatic brake system, so it's not like the F40 with the lap brake system. So, nothing to be scared about in this route with braking and all that kind of stuff. But lap braking, it takes a lot of practice to get it. Just when you think you got comfortable with it, then that's when you start messing up. I noticed that's what happens for me. So, yeah. Surprised we haven't got blur since we have a yellow right here. All right, let's see. Does that train stop somewhere along here? I don't think it is. Or if it's stopped, it's stopped. I don't see it anymore. Oh. Interesting. Well, we'll keep our eyes out for that red light and get on the brakes as quickly as possible. In fact, I'm just going to bring it down below about 30, just to be on the safe side. So just a quick oh, hey, Mr. Addies, I didn't know you were gone. Quick reminder, on my YouTube channel, there is a link to my Flickr page. Almost 8,000 photos that I have taken over the years. There's train stuff, plane stuff, pictures I took when I was in the military, especially when I was a medic. So you get to see some helicopter action. What else? Lots of cars, lots and lots of cars. So yeah, please do check that out. There's also a link to my Redbubble, which has merch for sale. You can get prints, you can get mugs. There's a whole list of stuff you can pick merch from, and then also my SoundCloud, which has recordings that I did for my radio production class back in the spring of 2019. Some of them you can listen to music if you want. You can hear me talk about the weather from 2019 if you want to go back and relive the weather in the Binghamton area for the spring of 2019. It wasn't very spring-like, that's for sure. So, yeah. Do check all that out. Greatly appreciate it. If you feel compelled, if you find a picture on my Flickr, I'm just kind of reiterating some stuff I've said before in previous streams. If you see something that you like and it's not on my Redbubble, let me know and I'll see if I can load it over there. If you want to get a print or a whatever, you know, I'll do my best to make that happen. Please do not download the pictures for yourself, and then try to, you know, please pay me for my work. I greatly appreciate that. I don't appreciate people stealing my work. Is Richard still here? If he is, he's lurking, Mr. Addies. Don't know. Wow, a man with many talents. Awesome. Yeah, I try. So basically, Mick, I'll tell this story. So back in spring of 2019 at the community college I was at, I signed up for a radio production class, and I didn't know what to expect. So we go in there, you know, first day of class, you know, you got to go around, do the introduction and all that kind of stuff. Well, you know, me being the oldest student in the class at the time, the teacher basically was like, well, I don't think you're going to succeed in this class. And I was like, what? Why? Well, you know, you're older, and, you know, I don't know if you're going to really hit it off with the, you know. So I'm like, okay. And after, you know, I'll admit I was nervous because, you know, you're sitting in front of a microphone and you don't really know what's, you know, how to operate the soundboard and all this stuff. It's kind of nerve-wracking. And the first show, I was nervous as all get out. I didn't know the computer's just randomly selecting music to play, and I'm like, coming up, we've got blah blah blah, you know, and I'm just like, oh man. Once I figured out how to make my own playlist of music, it was golden. I never had another problem after that, other than when the computer would accidentally delete stuff, or, you know. So yeah, it was a lot of work, but I was one of the few people that was regularly turning in work consecutively because you had to do a show a week, at least an hour in the studio every week, and then you did that, and then on I think Friday was presentation time, so you had the whole week to get it done. But if you waited till Friday morning to try to do it, you were screwed. And they always told they told people that at the very beginning, don't wait till the last day, because you're going to run into trouble. Once I, you know, kind of got my schedule set and figured out when I could do my shows, it was, and there was times that, because I got a little bit behind early on, I was doing a 2-hour show later in the afternoon, because everybody else was like, screw it, I'll go home. I go in there and do a 2-hour show, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So there's some of the recordings, I don't know which ones are which, but you can just sort through. And there's also a recording that myself and my radio production instructor, Professor Evans, we did a mock interview. He was asking me about the cars that I like. He was using that to kind of show students how to conduct an interview for a radio show. So that's on there as well if you want to hear him and I talk about it. Ed's worked for a TV studio, I think predominantly in Indiana for many years. He was the local ABC affiliate reporter, and he brought in some of the recordings of stories he did for that news station. It was quite a he looked a lot different, but his voice never changed. Yeah, he was one of my, we had a good working relationship, and always enjoyed working with him as a student, and then after I graduated, working there on campus as a media tech. So yeah, so check that out. Lots of good stuff. We were told not to talk about. There was two things that we shouldn't talk about on our radio show: religion and politics. The other instructor, Ray Scott, who's a DJ here in town, he said that those two things are off limits. Do not talk about either one, because generally, more often than not, you're going to piss somebody off, and that's it was a really, once you figure stuff out, that's one of the things I learned. Once you figure stuff out, there's no limit to what you can do if you kind of own it. That's the way I look at it. It kind of reminds me of a story when I worked at a company that did maps for in-car navigation systems. It's called ETAK. ETAK. We were bought out by Sony because Sony makes their own in-car navigation systems. So they were like, well, let's own the company that makes the maps as well, because that way we don't have to buy them from anybody else. So I was working for the training department for a short while, and training to be a trainer sort of thing. We had to pull a topic out of a hat, right? Put your hand in this, you don't know what's in there, and you just pull a piece of paper out and you look at it. That's the topic that you have to train somebody on. You have your fellow trainees, you have the training department supervisor in there as well. And so I pulled out something about how to do a home perm. Like women's hair, they do the perm. I didn't know how to do a perm. So I just kind of thought off the cuff, I'm like, well, I'm going to talk about making a permanent home. Like how do you buy a home and stuff like that. I just ad-libbed it. And the person that was in charge of the training department, oh, here we are in Palo Alto. Hold on. Put the power out. This power out. Anyway, she was perplexed. Like, how did you come up with that? And I said, well, and I showed her the piece of paper. I said, I don't know how to do a home perm. I couldn't have ad-libbed that. I mean, I could have tried, but it would have been, it might have been funny, but it wouldn't have shown initiative. And she said that, like, wow, you made the topic your own. That's smart thinking. So when you make the topic your own, you can communicate darn near anything to anybody, as far as I'm concerned. And that's the same thing I did when I was in medic, trying to get the topic of first aid over to soldiers who have no medical training whatsoever. You have to own the topic, and then you can communicate to people very effectively what it is you need them to do. So yeah, once I was able to play 80s music and stuff like that, I figured out how to make my own playlist. The sky was the limit, and and certainly it helps when you're because you can tell when somebody's smiling while they're talking, and that's what the whole intent was. If you came in and you were just like, "Hey, welcome to the show," and we're gonna play some music, and nobody's going to want to listen to that. But he would always say, I can tell if you're smiling or not while you're talking. If you're not smiling while you're talking, we're going to have a discussion about it. So, yeah, I didn't, because that's how Ray Scott would say it. You have to be positive on the channel. You have to be positive when you're broadcasting. People are going to come back and listen to that, and that's the same thing when you're streaming. If you're feeling down or whatever, nobody's going to want to hear that. Nobody's going to want to listen to your stream for more than a minute, and they're going to be like, man, I'm already down as it is. I don't need somebody else who's down too, Yeah, that's my story, so. Yeah, check it out, Mick, whenever you have time. You can put it on the background. Uh, you know, just have a good laugh, listen to some good music. All right, we're getting there. There's our destination still. Oh, there's the F40. Let's see, we are in. I feel like we should know this. See if I can catch the, we're just passing through. Oh, don't you dare go past the sign there. I should get one of these. I didn't say it on this side. There it is. Menlo Park. Okay. Now the folks at Menlo Park know we're in the area. We always like to make sure they know. Here, nearly noon time on the Peninsula Corridor. I wish I could post, although I didn't act in it, I don't have any lines. I wish I could post a link to the radio play that we did for our theater production group back in the spring of 2020. Once we went into lockdown, I was sitting here in my apartment going bonkers because, you know, couldn't go to work at the campus. Couldn't work in the dark room like I was. And but Professor Evans contacted me out of the blue. Hey, how you doing? And I was like, could be better. Could be doing something productive. And he said, hey, we're going to do this. We're turning the theater play into a radio show if you want to help out with that. And for the rest of the spring and almost into the summertime, it was a long process. We had to get microphones to some of the students. We had to get hotspots to some of the students. And it was just recording after recording, and then we had to piece it all together. Me and another student, I did 2 scenes, he did the other 2, and then I put it all together. And then it was a matter of editing down everything because the instructor wanted it under a certain amount of time, and it drove me bonkers because just when I thought, okay, we're set, and oh no, you can tighten up there's this little gap, it's a little too long. And then there was so much stuff to sort through recording wise because the instructor wanted there was a lot of stuff that needed to be re-recorded because people were messing up their lines, or there was a lag in the, there was a lag in the internet connection, so their lines were garbled or whatever. So yeah, it was a mess. So it was a long process. Do you recognize the areas you passed through? How accurate is it from your point of view? I recognize it for the most part. It's not like 100% accurate, but it's pretty close to spot on. Like the stations for the most part are fairly accurate from my memory. There might have been some changes since this route was done, since they went out there and scanned it. So it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, on average, I know, like when we get into Redwood, when we pass Redwood City Station, there's that arch that'll be on this side of the track, just past the station. That's fairly accurate. There's lots of stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this is this. So, yeah, for the most part, I recognize it. All right, we got a 10-mile-an-hour coming up. We come off the line here, so now if anybody's behind us, they can go whizzing past. Can't wait for Bus Sim 21. Yeah, Mr. Addies, that does look good. I don't know. I like the look of it, but I just don't know that it's my thing. But you know, hopefully you buy it, you enjoy it. You know, certainly look forward to watching it in your streams. Yeah. It does look good, though. I have to admit, from the trailers and everything, it looks pretty phenomenal. But yeah, I think they did a pretty fair job of representing the line mech. I don't know when they scanned it, to be honest, how old the information is on this route. But generally, I think they did a pretty solid job. I mean, stuff like this, so yeah, you have like a street and it just kind of dead ends. I mean, I think they just had to put something in to represent the neighborhoods and stuff that are right next to the route. Well, most everything is better, you know, hopefully, because there's going to be improvements because they've got a better graphics engine and stuff like that, Mr. Adams. I didn't play any of the Bus Sim games, so I don't know really, I can't say one way or another what's good and what's not, but I would venture to say that 21 is going to be better than 18. I'll take your word for it that it will look better and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so we're just slowly making our way here into the siding. And we've got 9 cars that we're going to unhook probably at the tail end there, so we shouldn't have much more to pull. Doesn't seem like, so we'll head on over to Southeastern High Speed as soon as we wrap this up. So yeah, this is, I think this is one of those overlooked services here on the Peninsula Corridor is that you can do some freight services. You can also do some minor freight stuff, hauling the dirt, also using the MP15. So yeah, do check it out. The game engines are being improved to keep up with the next gen consoles. Absolutely, Nick. Absolutely. So yeah, I think when it does get going, it will look phenomenal. Here's a GP38 hiding over here. Somebody's being lazy, shirking their duties. Number 520. I'm going to have to report him to the office. I think he's supposed to be doing stuff, and he's over there taking a nap maybe. Anyway. So yeah, the GP38s are marked here, right back, very small on these locomotives here on this corridor. But you know what we're going to do? As soon as we get to the stop point here, we're going to hop out. We're going to run back and unhook. We won't use the camera because it's not a very far. Look at that. Like a glove. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's hop out here. Running down the side here and get to the vehicles. Drop them off. Alright. Run between the cars here. Probably not a safe thing to do. Easy to hit yourself on one of the cars. Awesome parking. Thank you, Mr. Addies. All right, here we are. Let's let that go. All right, now it put it on there. That's interesting. Huh. All right, 16 miles to South San Francisco. So we're stopping just outside of San Francisco proper. We'll pull in. I think I know where we're going to be pulling into. We'll see if I'm correct on that. Let's go. There's one. There's two. There we are. Watch your step. Alright, let's get a move on. Brakes off. Let's check our lines, make sure that we're set to go. I think we are there, there, and we're all set. Alright, let's go. We'll go full whack. Drop the hammer and go. I'll let it exhaust. That's terrible. Alright, we got moving. We'll let everybody know that we're leaving. Leaving on a train with dirt. Don't know when we'll be back again. Alright, so we should be going through, as soon as we get on the main line here again, we're going to be going through Redwood City Station right there. It should be right outside a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of industry here, a lot of tech, obviously, part of Silicon Valley, certainly in the South Bay, but a lot of tech around the Bay Area in general. I think Dolby Labs started here in the Bay Area, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's a lot of businesses in the area, but also construction stuff as well. Let's see if I kind of wish we could go in some of these little siding areas and do switching or something, you know, with the MP15. It'd be kind of neat. What is your best route out of the whole game, if any? I would say probably this one, maybe Sandpatch Grade is second, close second. Yeah, I'd say this one and Sandpatch Grade are probably my two best. I don't know why though. I mean, well, this one I think it's because it's my home route, so I feel kind of familiar with it, comfortable. You know, I like talking about the Bay Area in general growing up. Right, I grew up on the east side of San Francisco, across the other side near just south of Oakland, California. But you know, I spent a lot of time after a while over here. I lived and worked in San Jose for a while. Lived and worked in Mountain View. So you know, did spend some time on the San Francisco side of the Bay Area. Used to go to the city quite often for baseball games, and just going there in general. I used to go to the Japanese Cultural Center in San Francisco. Really neat. You got tons of restaurants in there, shops. Always like going there and just hanging out. Yeah, I miss home. You know, I certainly do. So this is kind of like being home for me. All right, so here we are coming up in Redwood City. You'll see the throttle there, so you can hear me. So coming up, you'll see this kind of a gateway-looking thing, an arch There it is right there. That's pretty darn accurate. And the way that the street goes through here is accurate as well from my memory. There's that arch there. So they did get that part right. I don't know if the buildings themselves are 100% accurate, but that's okay. It's close enough for me that I recognize it. So it gives me a tinge of being actually at home. I don't know how it just so happened that I feel fairly comfortable in Sandpatch Grade either, to be honest. I mean, that when I first tried it, I didn't like the route, to be honest. I was just like, oh man, this seems to be too difficult. But I went back to it and I'm like, okay, well, let me try it again. Maybe I missed something and I just kept working at it, and the next thing I know, I'm like, it's challenging, but it's not really that difficult. This one, I think the challenge is that it's a route that, especially if you're doing an all-stop service, that's quite a lot to undertake. But you can do a limited stop service. Let's see where we stop in San Francisco here. Right there. Okay, so that's where. So we've seen trains there before. So we're not far out of San Francisco proper. So you should be able used to be seeing the GP38s and maybe some freight parked there or something. So, but yeah, I never get bored of running on this route. But I try not to make it the focus of my streams either. I like to try the different routes, the different locomotives. That way you kind of learn. Did you try the baby? Of course I did. I have, Mr. Adams. I have the baby bull. That's if you look at the stream I did on Saturday, I drove the baby bull from San Francisco to San Jose. It was a limited stop service. So yeah, I do enjoy the baby bullet. I do enjoy the F40. I enjoy the cab cars. For me, it's not so much about operating those. It's more about the route itself and being home, if that makes sense. And I'm really excited to see how the route is in real life when they have electrified everything. And so the baby bullet's going to be gone. The F40s are going to be gone because they're electrifying the whole road. So the only way I'm going to have the nostalgia now for the route is the game. Yeah, I own, just so that you know, if there's any questions about that, I do own all the routes. I do own all the local DLCs. Doesn't matter what route it is or anything, I own all of that, and that is still my intention for the game, is to own everything. Because it's, there's always stuff to try out. I'm just curious, let's just pause real quick. San Bruno? Or San Mateo? San Carlos, okay. It was one of the Sands. San Carlos. So yeah, I do own all the stuff. I intend to own all of the stuff. It may not be right on release day. That's okay. It's not going anywhere. It's not like on a limited time release or anything. So if I don't have a Rosa line this Thursday, I'll get it next Thursday when I get paid. But also, I can kind of see what everybody else is doing. I know people may do the tutorials, they may do a scenario, maybe do a service. I will go through the tutorial again. I'll try to do it nice and slow so that we can take our time and make sure we hit all the switches. Kind of look where everything is. Certainly when I get my PS5, I'm going to have to do everything all over again. So it'll, we'll do all the tutorials. I'll make a stream for it. We'll do a tutorial and a scenario, that sort of thing. So yeah. Now I'm just thinking, I may not buy a Rosa line for this. I may wait until I get a PS5, because once I get my PS5, I'm not going to really be back on my Xbox other than to watch Amazon Prime maybe, or to use it as a DVD player. But if I get a DVD version of the PS5, then there's really no reason for me to come back to the Xbox. So yeah, I don't know. It's quite the dilemma. So I may buy a Rosa line after I get my PS5. And that way I just do everything on that. Because there's no sense in buying it and then buying it again. Matter of fact, that makes sense. That makes so much sense, I might call it the Mr. Adams idea. But yeah, I do recommend, if you don't have the Baby Bullet, it's a good investment. Well, I wouldn't say investment. It's good. It's a good locomotive, and it's far easier, I think, even if you do an all-stop service or a limited stop service. The brakes are phenomenal. You don't have to worry about the lapping brake thing and all that. It does make the route a little bit easier to deal with. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. It's a really, really good looking train. Bellin, we've seen on the Rob, yes, Mr. Adams. What was I going to say? We were watching the Bellin stream a few weeks ago, or about a week or so ago, and there's a rail runner company that has an MP36 on that route, and it's really good looking. What is interesting to you in the PS? I think the ease of streaming options, Mick. Whether you want to stream directly to YouTube or if you want to still continue to stream on Twitch, there's more options than what the Xbox offers, whether it's this gen or next gen. Nothing's changing. So it gives me a little bit more variety. Plus, I can join you guys on the farm. That's the other thing too. I mean, some people do have Xboxes, but they don't stream, like I do and all that. And I don't feel confident enough to do my own stream on the farm either. Although I would like to be at some point, but I think, hanging out with you guys on the farm, I can learn a lot more. And then maybe eventually I would add that as an option for a stream down the road. But yeah, I think it's coming to a point where the current gen consoles, like the Xbox One, all that stuff is kind of starting to go to the wayside. We see a lot of problems with FPS in the games, whether it's this game or lots of other games. The PS4, the Xbox One, they all came about at the same time, and they're already they're outdated in only a couple of years, it seems. So yeah, it's trying to stay current. The new stuff does look almost PC-like. I would like to have both. I think if I'll get a PS5 with the disc, if I can find one for a reasonable price, and then I will eventually add the Xbox Series S, which is the smaller non-disc version Xbox. But I don't know. I mean, I'd prefer, if I have my wish, I would prefer to just have only one system, because eventually I think what'll happen is there'll just be stuff happening on one more than the other. It's just too much headache to at least you can join on the farm. Yes, that's what I was saying, Mr. Agnes. That's one of the things I would like to be able to do. is do multiplayer farm sim with you guys. Have a good laugh, have a good time. Plus learn how to farm better, that sort of thing. All right, so we're about 8.5 miles to our destination. We'll get pulled in there, and then that's all we have to do there. We just have to park it. I don't think we have to do anything else. So we'll get there, and then I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, and then I'll be back, and we'll get started on Southeastern High Speed. I'm gonna do a freight service on that. And then we'll wrap it up with Ruhr-Sieg Nord. But yeah, that's the plan so far of what the future's going to hold. Hopefully, I'm going to have pretty much the entire summer. I don't really not expecting to go anywhere. Still, I haven't gotten my COVID shots yet. I was only asking because I only have the. Yes, I don't comment about both machines. Yeah, I get that. I used to play on the PlayStation. I had a PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, and then hopped over to the Xbox 360 after a while, because I was like, oh, there's way more games there, but I think I'm ready to make the switch back, most likely this time for good, because I just don't see Microsoft, I think, is just they're not doing much for the players, especially players who want to stream. That's one thing that kind of made me start thinking more about the PS5 compared to the Xbox. I mean, I could still do what I'm doing now, but at least with the PlayStation, I have more options, and that's what I'm really interested in, is more options. However I want to stream the games. So yeah, that's what I want to do. Xbox, for whatever reason, or Microsoft for whatever reason, doesn't seem too concerned, or they don't really seem to care about streamers. They had Mixer, they did away with that. It pushed everybody to Twitch, but which is fine. But I feel like it's better to have more options when it comes to streaming. So that's what's interesting to me, of course. And the PS5 does look pretty darn good. It looks very futuristic. The Xbox One X or Series X kind of seems. I mean, I guess it's an interesting design, but it doesn't really, make me jump out of my seat for joy. Whereas the PS5, it's got this really unique design to it. It almost looks alien-like. What niggles me is the Game Pass is that more than renting the game and keeping it. Yes. Held a mess. Yeah. That was one of the things. There was all this talk about the PS, or not PS, Xbox Live they were going to be going up in price for less, like you weren't getting less for the buck. And a lot of people, there was some pushback, but now Xbox, or Microsoft kind of walked that back. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Xbox, I think Microsoft's winning with the the console war right now because they're able to get the Series X and Series S out there to the stores still, whereas PlayStation is still way behind the curve, it seems. But you know, it is what it is. That's the way I look at it. It's just stuff happens. So we'll enjoy Test Drive 2 when it's on PS2. Why would you buy a game for PS2? You mean PS5, don't you, Mr. Addies? I don't know that there's any games still being released on a PS2 at this stage of the world. But I could be wrong, but I don't think that's so far last gen. I couldn't imagine them putting the time and effort to release something on a PS2. I think you meant PS5 though. Your fingers were moving faster than should be allowed by law. We're just moving right along here. So we should be going through Millbrae in a moment here. I might put it next to my PS4 when you get a PS5. I don't know what you mean, Mr. Addies. Or F40 heading to San Jose. I kind of wish there was a way you could go. They had like the mini service in San Francisco in the game. That would be pretty cool because then you can go into actual downtown. I just think that the PS5 should have gone to people who have been on PSN since the beginning and then worked their way back. Yeah, that would. I could agree with that. Yeah, you know, because it should be like a customer loyalty thing. Absolutely. That does make sense. Customer loyalty goes a long way, you know, or it should. And companies should recognize if you've stuck with one or the other from beginning all the way up to now, yeah, you should get first crack at it. But yeah, it's so real quick. These are the BART tracks, the Bay Area Rapid Transit. That is the, I guess, intercity service that you can take. This route was extended from San Francisco down to Millbrae to allow access to San Francisco International. But you can commute, you can take the BART train from here back to the east side and back again. It's a great commuter train. Yeah, really cool. Oh, I hear a plane. Where is it? There it is, right there. So for San Francisco International, what they do is when you come in for landing, generally you're coming in from the South Bay, and you come in over the southern part of the Bay Area, the water itself, and then you come in for the landing. If you know the area, you can kind of call out, look at landmarks, and you know where you are. There's bridges in the Bay Area. You've got the Dumbarton Bridge, San Mateo Bridge, and then San Francisco. Oakland, you land short. Yeah, you land before you can see the bridge. Yeah, landing in San Francisco is a really neat experience, especially if you know the Bay Area. Or if you're just visiting there for the first time, you'll be amazed at what you see and and from the air and coming in, or even taking off. Yeah. So SFO. Here's the BART trains come up out of here, and then it splits off to go out towards San Francisco International, which is out there. You can see, oh, there's the tower for San Francisco International. I just noticed that. Huh. That's really cool. So you have service that goes out to the airport, and then you have a continuing service that goes on into San Francisco from here. So, yeah, I just noticed there's the, I guess that's supposed to represent the tower there in San Francisco International. Wow, I just noticed that. That's pretty cool. And SFO does have its own tram system getting around the airport because it has got so big that you can't really walk anymore like you used to be able to back in the day. So yeah, if you're gonna fly in there, just be prepared to yeah. You're gonna have to take a different colored tram to go somewhere. They got it like red and green, and depending on where you want to go in the airport, it'll tell you which one to take. Lots of softball and baseball fields here in the Bay Area. Lots of people like to play. Football fields too, actually, which can be used for soccer as well, or football, as the folks in the UK call it. All right. Let's get back on the gas here a little bit. I think we're still chasing the train, but I think we'll be okay. Why we're still showing that yellow. Okay, all the switches are set. Okay. Good to go. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. All good fun. We'll get the warning for the 10 mile an hour going into the yard there. We're going to be crossing over some tracks, switches and whatnot, so. So just on the other side of those hills, Pacific Ocean's right there. You can even dip your toes in the Pacific Ocean on the coast of San Francisco. Plenty of beach area. For a romantic dinner, I highly recommend the Cliff House along the coast of San Francisco. There's also an interesting restaurant in San Francisco at the top of the Hyatt. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a rotating restaurant at the top of the Hyatt. Let's see it listed. Did away with it. Anyway, it's a rotating restaurant at the top of the Hyatt in downtown San Francisco. Equinox, there we go. That's what it's called. I don't know if it's still in operation or not, but the Equinox was a really cool restaurant. When I was in high school, I was in a program called Regional Occupational Program. It was my junior. I actually watched the NFL and I tried to follow the Chicago Bears. I have the captain's shirt. I started when the refrigerator was on the team. Yes. The 85 Bears. Arguably one of the greatest teams in the NFL history. My mom is from the Chicago area. She was born and raised there. Huge fan of the Bears. That was one of their all-time great teams. Probably the greatest team in the NFL. You know, some people will always argue different teams, different, eras and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the Equinox. I don't think it's open anymore. But it was this we got the tour when I was in this hotel management program as a junior in high school. We got to go to the city and tour the Hyatt in San Francisco and the Equinox restaurant. It was pretty cool. I don't know if they rotated anymore or what happened to it, but or they may have changed the name, but it was called the Equinox. So yeah, if you're ever in the city, either there's lots of places you can eat that are kind of like a romantic setting if you're there with your significant other. But I do recommend the Cliff House if it's still open. The Bears. The Bears. I remember them going to the Super Bowl. That was quite a big deal with Jim McMahon. Was it Jim McMahon? Yeah, I think. They were quite the team. Quite a cast of characters, that's for sure. I always remember the Montana years, and I didn't really like Steve Young at first, but he did okay. He surprised a lot of people. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Jim Clark. No, not Jim. That was a great team as well. Dwight Clark, not Jim Clark. Dwight Clark. I don't know why I thought Jim. Dwight Clark. We had some really great teams ourselves here in the Bay Area. All right, here we are. We're coming to the end of our trip here in San Francisco on the GP38-2. We're going to park it here. See if we can hit the stop on the dot here. Look at that. Bam! I like it. All right, so there's that service. 35, almost 36 miles. All right. All right, I'm going to go run to the restroom. I will be right back. No, Richard's not the only one that gets gold there, Mick. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. All right, let's get out here and get to the Southeastern High Speed. All right. Oh, I'm not late. I have just arrived when I wanted to. All right, Josh, that's all good. We're just getting ready to do a Class 66 here. So it's okay. It happens. All right. Oops. All right, let's get in here and get the 66. And we're going to do a service. Let's see here. I don't really know what the difference is in the liveries. What the heck? We'll just pick this one. I don't know. We're gonna do this. Operate this freight train as far as Ruhr Junction. Uncouple your wagons and then couple to a different set. Continue that journey as far as Strood. So we're going from Gravesend to Strood. Let's get in here and we'll be on our way. It's the same. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure. Because I like my liveries. I like to be different. I don't always like to pick what everybody else picks. So anyway, all right. Uh, so let's see. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. It doesn't seem like it's going to take very long, but who knows? Well, that's a good looking shot of the Arosa line. That's a good looking shot of the SD40. And it's got the right livery too, I think. It's got that gray and blue, yellow. Yeah, that's the right livery right there. That's the best livery, in my opinion. So hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday afternoon. It's still morning here in New York. Just a minute after 11. I don't know, time just keeps going by. Well, at least the loading screens are interesting, so. Yes, waiting for Clinchfield. Yep, you and me both, Josh. It is what it is. Well, trying. Yeah, I know. I know. We all are. But I think the roasted line will be good when it comes out. It is what it is. All right. Operate this, yada, yada, yada. We already read that. All right. Let's get the. There it is. Maybe everything's already on. Let's just double check all of our switches. Reverser in. Forward. And where's the brakes? Oh, you have to charge them all up. That's right. Tail lights on. Instrument lights on. Let's get the cab light on too, just so we can see. Don't need the demister. Ooh. Start rolling backwards. Let's get the daytime lights on. All right. We'll just run it out without everything. Just get up here and get. That shouldn't take very long to do. It's like a 377. Yep. So we got this. Looks like dirt also. Gravel, whatever you want to call it. Class 66 seems to be up to the task to get it there. English, Welsh, Scottish Railway. I guess that's why they call it EWS. Interesting. Gotta go pick up the kids now, but brilliant stream and nice chat about hometown. Catch you all later. Take care, Mick. Have a good rest of your day. You're more than welcome to come back if you will still be running for a bit, so come on back if you got time. Yeah, I do like to talk about home whenever I'm on the Peninsula Corridor, right? But I try not to be too repetitive either, so. Try to point out interesting things or tell interesting stories. Alright, 5 viewers, wow. So whoever else is in, if you haven't said hello, say hello please. If you want. So we're going there, we're going to uncouple 15 vehicles, and then we're going to pull forward and then grab a different group of freight. Probably this one next to it, right there. We're going to go ahead and get this set so we can just go ahead and pull forward. And then back up, we'll probably connect to that and then head on to Strood, so. Hi, Mr. Addies. So Josh is here, Mr. Adams is here. Who else is here? If you haven't said hello, say hello if you want. If not, it's all good. put the window open. There we go. Been a great history lesson. Don't be sorry I learned something today. Thank you. See y'all later. Oh, I'm glad you did. Cheers, Mick. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. It's always good when somebody learns something. I try to make it interesting and informative as much as possible. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is going to take very long to do. That's okay. Figured I'd try something different. You know, most everybody's always doing the passenger service on this route. Wanted to do something a little bit different. So here we are. All right, let's start slowing down here. That's got a really nice sound to it too. Oh, we got a 20 coming up. Oops. Better get on the brakes pretty good here. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, of course. There we are. I think on most of the branch lines of Clinchfield it has like a 3.5% grade, but they were saying they run the train short but with extra loco power or something crazy like that. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out when it comes out. Be interesting to see how that all works out. All right. So when we do stop here, we'll run out the door there and unhook the freight, and then we'll run back in and get ready to hook up to the other one and head on to Strood. So it's a nice little run. Quite happy with this so far. Something different on the Peninsula, or Southeastern High Speed. Almost said Peninsula Corridor. Oh, I know that there's more than one route. Let's see. These are empty. Ah, okay, so that shouldn't be too bad of a crate to pull. like a glove. Look at that. I like it. Alright, let's run out here and unhook the... Bam! Alright. There we go. Just took a moment for it to cycle through. Alright, we're just leaving this interior door open. Nice parking. Yep, I try. Scenario planner. Let's run a 50-car coal load up the grade. I don't know if I could do that, but in the rain, huh? Well, you know what we're gonna do? Well, we're gonna do Ruhr-Sieg Nord next. You know what we'll do? We're gonna add some. Just to make things a little bit more interesting, we're going to do it in the rain. I broke a little too early. Oh, come on. Oh, that's close enough. All right. Let's see here. That. Get this thing moving. Back it up just a bit more. There we go. That should be close enough. Go. All right, let's go. No mucking about. Oof. We're gonna drop the hammer and go. Just under 3.5 miles to Strood, and we're just going to stop right there. So let's take a look ahead at where we're stopping at. Right there in the station. All right, so we don't have to worry about switches or nothing. Just waiting for the okay to speed up here. Last car should be coming out of the yard here any moment. 2, 1. There we go. Look at that. That's a really good sounding engine. Good. I like that. Alright. We'll turn off the cab light. We don't need that on anymore. We found all of our switches and everything, so this locomotive has a very American feel to it with the way that the throttle and all these. It's kind of like being in a SD40 or GB38. Well, I made a mistake one day. I was on sand patch grade in scenario planner that came to a stop with 50 auto racks behind me. Wanted to look at something which caught my eye and thought the independent brakes would hold me. Nope, my train was slowly rolling away, back down the hill. Yep. That does happen. Josh, that does happen. Oh, I forgot we need to go through a tunnel here. I think the top speed on this is 75, so I'm doing okay. Get off the brake here because we're going to be pulling into Strood here before we know it. Yeah, it's easy to get distracted, Josh, in the game, because you see something, you're like, oh, let me go check that out, and yeah, that happens. Should be coming out of the tunnel here any moment now, I would think. Oh yeah, I see the alright, we gotta slow down to 15 miles an hour here fairly quickly. I just noticed that. Look at that. These brakes are pretty phenomenal on this. I forgot about that. I haven't run a Class 66 in quite some time, to be honest. So far in the stream, you mean, Josh? No. Not at all. I haven't had any issues. We've been stopping, we've been hitting our marks, and had a little bit of speeding on Peninsula Corridor, but that's okay. It wasn't nothing major. Not like in the red, like Mr. Addy's. Him and his excessive speeding lifestyle on the trains. Might have to report you to Dovetail Games, Mr. Addy's. Operating the train in an unsafe manner. Yeah, this hasn't taken very long to do, so yeah, this is perfect. What about me? Yeah, you and your speeding, Mr. Addies. You and your speeding. That's what I'm on about. That's what you're about, speeding. Try to tell me to go full bore Peninsula Corridor and I got yellows in front of me, meaning I'm chasing a train. Set me up for failure. You're setting me up for a spad, weren't you, Mr. Addies? Could have a laugh about it later, huh? Alright, there goes the 375. Let's get a little bit of speed going. Just make it up this little hill here. So you got always a good reminder, you got the submarine over here. Once we get past the I'm getting there slowly but sure. Yeah, you still like going a little too fast. I cringe every time you drive a train, man. I think Dovetail Games needs to put a speed limiter on you. All right, there we go. That's that. That was fairly easy. All right, look at that. Only 7.3 miles, just under half an hour. Yeah, we got a nice gold out of that. So that's 2 for 2. All right, let's head over to Ruhr-Sieg Nord. Ruhr-Sieg Nord. Yeah, that was a good choice. Wasn't very stressful. Nice little run of freight there on Southeastern High Speed. No, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. And I did. Okay, let's Ruhr-Sieg Nord. There it is. I got a good idea. Uh-oh. Oh boy. What is your good idea, Josh? Alright, we are going to do... I was looking at these earlier. F40 on tour through Clinchfield. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. If it's, yeah, once the scenarios, if we don't have any issues with the scenario planner, yeah. Mixed freight, logs and supply to Finnentrop. Okay, yeah, this one kind of caught my eye. Quite honestly, so we're gonna do the 1040, but we're gonna make it rain a bit. Spring rain shower, and we're gonna do our wonderful Railion liveried DB BR185.2. So that was the 1040. There, that one. So log wagons and hobbings wagons to Finnentrop from the Bola Wagon Yard. So, all right. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, though, Josh. I like that. That'd be an interesting, yeah. Or see if you could just make passenger service with the SD40 there from Clinchfield. I mean, that would be a pretty interesting thing too. Oh, excuse me. All right. So let's see how we fare on this one with the rain. So the tracks are going to be a little bit slippery. Let's see how we do. We're going to set up the SEHS and PZB, of course. Let's get the brakes all set. We're not going to turn on the off B. I don't think that's necessary. PZB, SEHS, headlights. Find my, there it is. Wipers on. Okay, let's see, we shouldn't have anything else to worry about. Let's make sure we got our headlights. Just put those on reduced. We'll put the cab light on, just to be safe. Alright, let's get the brakes off. Okay, so now it's time, update today. Is there an update? You mean the roadmap's out today? Or is there an update for the game? Can you specify, please, Josh? Alright, let's get on our way here. And the coaches are now livery designer compatible. Oh, nice.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
I have to do the update after we get done with the stream then. I'll have to restart my Xbox and get that going. Alright. So we're gonna go from here all the way down yonder.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, let's make sure we don't miss anything. So did the C40. Diesel Legends got a minor update too. Oh, nice. So yeah, there's good update out there then. I'm sure they'll talk about that in the roadmap today when it's printed. Matter of fact, it should be out right now, I would think. So yeah, good. See, everybody, I don't understand. Everybody fusses at Dovetail Games, and they're working on stuff. They're fixing stuff. So yeah. Mine's updating as we talk. Alright, yeah, I'll do mine as soon as I'm done here then. But good. Glad to hear that.
SEHS.
Oh, crap. I let it go for too long. Doggone it. Oh, maybe I caught it in time. I thought for sure I was going to get dinged. That's what happens when you're trying to be funny and game's like, oh, you want to be cute, huh? I got something for you.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Yeah, we won't allow that to happen. Yeah.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alrighty, so once we're done here, we'll be wrapping up our service for today. We're running these covered wagons and tail end. Oh, these are empty logs. I thought they were going to be full. Huh, interesting.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, we're moving along pretty good now.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, Finnentrop siding 14. Wait for another SEHS. It's been amazing, Rob. Were you leaving me? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Addies? Not there yet. We still got 37 kilometers to go, so we're not done yet. But we will be after this is over. Alright, let's take a look here. So we are going to be stopping right there. Of course, there's a red right there too. So you know what that's going to mean. It's going to be stressful. We don't want to spad. I think we'll be okay.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Get the speed back up here. Well, I'm glad you guys were able to come in and hang out today. Yeah, so good stuff. Oh, I see what's getting ready to happen, Mr. Addies. I know where you're going. Okay. Off with you then. That's okay.
Zugbeeinflussung.
I'll put the update link in the mod chat. Okay. Good idea, Josh. I'm sure the roadmap is out already. At least the on, you know, not the stream, but the on the website maybe. So I think it's around about that time now for it to come out.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Okay, Rob, considered. Oh,
Zwangsbremsung.
wait a minute. How did,
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
what the heck?
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
How did that happen?
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
Did I forget the...
Zwangsbremsung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, I'll look after I'm done, Josh. I thought I slowed down enough. Oh, we're on a flat surface. Oh man. Alright, we'll get this going again here. There we go. A little sand goes all the way.
Zugbeeinflussung.
I probably forgot to release it after.
Zugbeeinflussung.
That's okay, it happens.
Zugbeeinflussung.
All right, back up to 100 kilometers an hour.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Well, I guess I'm going to have two loyal followers or viewers, maybe all the way to the end here. I think I know where everybody else went. That's okay. It's all good.
Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Got 8. They've all scattered off to Joe's. Yeah, I know. Josh, that's where I figured. Once I saw the announcement on Discord, I figured that's why Mr. Addies was like, "It's been amazing, Rob."
Zugbeeinflussung.
That's okay. That's fine. I don't know who else is here besides you, Josh. I don't know if it's Amela or somebody else. But that's okay. Take a shower after this and then maybe run over to the store and get a few things and then I'll be back.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, so we shouldn't come up under a 1000 hertz magnet this time because we're below the 80 that's coming up that's required. So I think we should be okay. We just got to make sure we acknowledge the warning boards and the speed change once we get there. That. So there was the warning boards, and then we'll acknowledge it once we pass through.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, so we're making our way. Getting there.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Not quite halfway just yet. Alright, we got 70 coming up now. Oh, yeah. Oi.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
I guess if I was on Sandpatch Grid, I'd have time to read the the update stuff. That's okay. I'll get to it. Almost. We're slowly making our way to halfway to Finnentrop.
SIFA. Zugbeeinflussung.
Plus, I figure when I hop in the shower, I'll let the game update. We should be seeing the 70 warning board here coming up.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Somewhere around the corner here. There it is. Ta-da!
Zugbeeinflussung.
I'm sore today. I might have slept a little wrong last night or something. I don't know.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, there's our drop to 70.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Get back a little bit of speed here. Nothing too major. That should be good. Alright, we're going back up in speed here shortly to 80.
Zugbeeinflussung.
One good thing about this Loco, the windshield wipers aren't too loud or whatever. They're not too annoying.
SIFA.
They don't have that back and forth like road map is in around 10 minutes. Yeah, okay. So they'll be posting the online the upcoming and next release and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, okay. For some reason, I figure it was right about this time when they would be doing it. I'm curious to see where Clinchfield is in the mix on the road map. I think, yeah, plus everybody else is looking to see when the 313 is coming out, if it's budged at all. I think there's going to be quite a few unhappy people if it's not moved up into production or upcoming. And maybe there's problems they got to sort out before they can release it.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, now I think we're about halfway there. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they have to say. There's the DOS. Look like the 143 at the front there. Okay, let's get a little bit of power back on.
SEHS. Zugbeeinflussung.
Oh, a little bit of speeding there. Oops, a daisy.
Zugbeeinflussung.
All right. About 22 kilometers to Finnentrop.
Zugbeeinflussung. SEHS. Zugbeeinflussung.
Zifa. Zifa. The greatest hits of Zifa. Zifa. Alright. Got a 90 coming up. And then pretty soon we should start. I almost feel like we're going to be going downhill at any moment.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Like it's going to start to kind of. Like we're on a level ground right now, but I think at some point we start going downhill into Finnentrop. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different route. But I don't know. We'll see.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Yeah, this has been a nice stream. Nice and relaxed. Going really well. Other than a little hiccup earlier here on the route, but that's okay. It happens.
SEHS. SEHS. Zugbeeinflussung.
Zifa. Rawr, Zifa. Look at that. We go up to 90, and then a short time later, we're right back down to 70. So we're just going to keep it right here where we're at. We're not going to try to speed up and then have to slow right back down again. Because I'm trying to avoid those darn pesky 1000 hertz magnet and all that other silliness. We're doing just fine.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, we're definitely more than halfway there, so making good time, I think. A rainy day here, rain, or Ruhr-Sieg Nord.
Zwangsbremsung.
Oh, what did I miss?
Zwangsbremsung.
Bloomin' heck.
Zwangsbremsung.
I must have missed something.
Zwangsbremsung.
I know what I missed. I bet you I missed the safety board for the 70.
Zwangsbremsung.
That's what it is.
Zwangsbremsung.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
Yep. Got it. Thank you.
Zwangsbremsung. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Wow, it's not even going to release me from the... Oh, boy. Okay. Wow. Yep. When I was looking outside, I bet you I missed that...
Zugbeeinflussung.
There we go. We should be moving again.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, let's see if we can clear out that magnet. Nope.
Zugbeeinflussung.
It will not let me go from that magnet. Doggone it.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, now it did. Alright, now let's see if we can get it up.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, now we're cleared. You know, it's kind of disappointing. Not that I like to be talking about school on my day off, but you know, we're doing a group project for our science fiction class. We're talking about pulp science fiction magazines, and we have to pick a couple and talk about them in a group sort of thing. Now, no student should, no teacher should be talking about classwork on our wellness day. That's like, what's the point of a wellness day if you're going to be sending out emails about, if you weren't in class yesterday, you know, we made groups, so get in touch with me. I mean, that's just, if they weren't in class yesterday and they don't know what's going on, you know what, that's on them. Nobody should be getting hassled on our quote-unquote wellness day because other people weren't in the class. That's just, you know, what's the point of having the day off then? You know, not that they're assigning any work, but, you know, we're trying to enjoy our time off. That's the whole intent of today. No assignments, nothing.
Zugbeeinflussung.
And I don't get why people feel it necessary to to do that. The teachers should be enjoying their day off as well. You know, it's if people aren't paying attention or whatever, or aren't getting in touch with you about stuff, then, because I guarantee you, students right now, it's like their day off. They don't really care one way or the other about the group project. It's a fairly nice day out. That's the last thing on their mind. Most people are probably outside enjoying the sun. So, man, unbelievable. Anyway, I didn't mean to rant, but that's kind of annoying. I mean, the teacher could have sent that out to the people that did not show up for class yesterday. I think that would have been a better way to handle it than just do a group email. If you're gonna bug the people that weren't there yesterday. I don't know. Kind of like being in the military all over again. In some ways. Oh, people are enjoying their day off. Oh, let me find a way to harass them. Mess with them. Anywho. So, we're 14 kilometers to Finnentrop. We're going to be zigzagging still through the hills. And we should be there shortly. We'll just keep the speed right about here. I think we will start going downhill. I'm almost certain that at some point we start going downhill. I could be wrong. Teachers, yeah, I know, Josh. It's just, I don't know. Today's supposed to be our wellness day in lieu of Easter break or spring break, whatever you want to call it. So no assignments are due, no homework is assigned for today. If you want to read ahead on your own or whatever, that's all, certainly on you. But yeah, it's just that we're trying to get this group, and it's not like a really. We're gonna work on it on tomorrow in class. So, people can catch up. They can contribute something. They may not be the best, but if they really care, they'll show up tomorrow and they'll contribute. But oh well, what can you do? All right. So we should have a warning board for an 80 coming up for the reduction in speed from 110 to 80 kilometers an hour. Keep an eye out for that. We won't try to miss those again and get dinged by PZB and its deliciousness. We got both deliciousness on today, the SEHS and the PZB. So yummy. It's good for you. It's nutritious and delicious. Anyway, so yeah, that's I almost feel like being a bit of a smart ass, pardon my French, and emailing the teacher back going like, "Hey professor, you enjoying your wellness day? I sure am. Hope you are too. It's a well-deserved wellness day, right?" Just keep hammering the wellness thing home. But I know I mean, I would even think if the deans of the schools and the chancellors and all, the chancellor and the vice chancellor, there would have been a mass email that went out to all the instructors and instructor assistants and whatnot, saying, take the day off. Don't bother the students. Don't be emailing them and reminding them of upcoming assignments or whatever. If they're not tracking it by now, chances are they're not going to be they weren't tracking it to begin with, and they probably just don't care. So let them be. It is what it is. But I guess, some people would ignore that. Oh, I have to be concerned. Well, you can't make people concerned about an assignment or whatever if they don't feel, if they don't care about it. It's just human nature. All right, we got our 80-kilometer reduction coming up, and then we should be slowly making our way into Finnentrop. We're almost 3/4 of the way, I think, give or take by now. We acknowledge this signal here. There should be the actual speed reduction right here. I kind of wish we would have had, well, I don't know. I think I would have rather preferred yesterday off than today, but then again, I would have preferred today off and then also Easter, spring break, but whatever. Oh, that's quite a long freight service there. Nice. All right, back up to 100 kilometers an hour. We'll acknowledge the increase in speed coming up. Seems like we've been going uphill most of the way here. Not downhill. I thought we would have been going downhill at some point, but I guess not. We're making the climb up to Finnentrop. That's okay. Yep. Last thing on my mind is class today. I'm not thinking about assignments. I'm not thinking about grades. None of that stuff. So that's what the whole thing about today's for. At least that's what I thought. I could be wrong. Maybe they want me to think about it all. In which case I feel bamboozled. Maybe that's what I should email the professor. Hey, professor, I'm feeling bamboozled here. I was led to believe that this is a wellness day. We weren't talking about classes or nothing today. So, but I could be wrong. Back down to 70 again. 100, then 70. Next thing you know, it'll be 175, then down to 30. Good times, good times. I know I shouldn't let the professor get to me. This is me. Sometimes stuff happens and it gives me flashbacks of being in the army. Not like in a bad way, that not like a war thing, but just the people
Zug beeinflussen.
accept that there's days off, and you know people should be enjoying their time off, and you know that sort of thing. I mean, I guess if you're just that miserable in your life and you can't handle a day off, then that's on you. You know, that says more about you than it does anybody else. But anyway. All right. Let's keep an eye out for the 70 board again.
SIFA, Zugbeeinflussung.
Make sure we acknowledge that, our upcoming reduction in speed again. A little bit of... Oh, speak of the devil, there it is. There's that. Wait a minute, why would it... Alright, let's get on the brakes instead, because... What did it put me on 1,000 hertz magnet? We weren't even... Alright, well...
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
See, I wonder if it puts me under that because it's thinking that it's 43 miles an hour instead of 70k. Huh.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Interesting. Oops. Oh, no. We don't need the wheel spin. I wonder if there's a glitch in that then. Alright, let's acknowledge this.
Zugbeeinflussung.
And then we go right back up to 80. Oh boy. This is too funny. Too funny. And watch, we'll be back. Now the next one will be like go down to 60 or some crazy thing. No, all the way up to 100 kilometers an hour. Oh my goodness. That's okay.
Zugbeeinflussung.
We'll acknowledge the major increase in speed as we see those boards.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Oh. We should see the, yep, there they are right there. Would be the 10. Yep, right there. All right. Acknowledged.
Zugbeeinflussung.
I'll do it twice just to be on the safe side. Yeah, anyway, I don't really want to talk about school now. It kind of disappoints me that teachers can't respect the time off.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Oh, I picked up a viewer. Somebody came back, I guess. Maybe it's Mick. We're almost to the end here. Just under 5 kilometers to get to Finnentrop, siding 14.
Zugbeeinflussung.
We'll get a little bit of speed back in here. Get up to 70 and then lead back. We'll coast it the rest of the way in. But I'm glad whoever's been in and out today, thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate the chat. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed it. Watch, we're going to get I don't think we got to get down to 31, so we should see a warning board for the 50 coming up. And that's just about outside of our destination. We'll just keep we'll just kind of cruise here for the rest of the way. All right, so let's make sure there's our destination right there. Should have no issues going on in. So hopefully everybody's had a good time in the stream, or if you're watching it later on my YouTube, hopefully you're enjoying it. It's been a nice freight extravaganza. Just trying to come up with something corny for the title, but that's what we got. So alright, let's keep an eye out for those boards. We don't want to get dinged on. Already got dinged twice. That's okay. It happens. I was expecting a little bit more of a challenge with the rain, but it hasn't been too bad, to be honest. I was expecting a bit more of a lot more wheel slip and whatnot, but yeah, it hasn't been too bad. So yeah. Alright, so there's our warning for the 50 coming up. We'll get a little bit on the brake here. And so we're going to have to go probably all the way down to actually 31 on here, because otherwise I think we're going to get dinged for... Because otherwise, if we were... I don't know. Alright, so we should get out from underneath the magnet.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Wow, that really...
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Only thing is Arosa index release and a few bug fixes. Okay. So Klitschfield's still not in the... is it still in the upcoming then, Josh? I'm guessing?
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
All right, so we can start speeding back up.
Zugbeeinflussung.
All right, so there should be. Well, that's a weird reduction because it's sitting 8 there.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Interesting. Back under the 1000 hertz magnet again. Alright, so at least it's still in the upcoming area, so hopefully it means in April we'll see that for release. Alright, so we should be good for the rest of the way in here. Speed here, although there isn't. Is there any? Not really technically a speed board here. I think that's for the other direction. No? Almost 3 hours here streaming. Quite enjoyable. I think we'll see a 500 hertz magnet coming up here. Probably right here, maybe? Let's see. Cab lights off, we don't really need those now. We'll have a nice we've got a bit of space between us and our stop marker and the red. Doesn't seem like maybe a whole lot of room to play with in case we go a little bit past the stop marker. Bells in my headphones. Sounds like there's church bells ringing here in town somewhere. Pretty cool. They're kind of getting louder as we get closer to our destination, it seems. Alright, so we did come up under a 500 hertz magnet at some point back here. Looks like maybe right there. Yep, right there. 500 hertz magnet. Alright, nice, slow, smooth. little bit of room to play with just in case, but not much. But we're not going crazy speed-wise coming in here, so I think we'll be okay. Goes a Dostos. Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. All right, another goal. 3 for 3 today. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for joining and hanging out, watching the usual blah, 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 you know. So I will catch you later. Have a great rest of your day. All right, take care.